Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. My name is Bleed. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto world. And listen, there's a lot going on, but we're going to make this a short version today because at noon today, I've got a Puff X Spaces that I'm going to be involved in. So let's hurry this one along. And then I got some other stupid stuff to do, you know. All right, so I'm back to Luna Classic. I'm doing a short today. It's only 37 seconds long. I did just a quick update. So if you're interested in what's going on, it'll come out at the normal time of 1 o'clock. Also, we have JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon embraces Bitcoin in a new era of finance, running shorts right now. By the way, the Bitcoin short, I asked you guys yesterday, like, go hit the like button on the Bitcoin short and watch it. And you barely did. So I'm going to put it in here one more time and just be like, hey, guys, if you can, while you're hitting the like button for this video, can you hit the like button on that video as well? You can run it in another tab if you want to. I don't care. Also, if you're interested in burning Luna Classic, trobits.com is your place to do it. Doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is come engage with the content. And down here, the articles, etc. There's going to be a whole lot of upgrades that are coming very, very soon. And of course, when they come, that means they're going to be burning even more. So, that's a good opportunity. So in the news, before we get started, Blocky. We're not going to be talking about Blocky today, but we'll be talking about Blocky in the very near future. So there was a biggest buy competition. $1,000 went to the meme competition ended, and the person won 73,954 Blocky. Which, by the way, just consider, if you will, if it goes to a 10x from where it is, which I'm pretty sure at this point that it's almost academic that Blocky will have a nice little run to a 10 million market cap or so. That being the case, that would be 1 penny, which means that this person just got $740, something like that, just for doing it. Lena is on the Blocky team if you're looking, and a total of 25 million Blocky were burned yesterday. So big stuff happening over here potentially, but again, it's going to have to play out, and we'll see how it goes. Next up, buy yourself some CC coin. CC coin on a little bit of a pump today, along with blockchain beauties. And as long as you have a little bit of this right here, and by the way, there is a video. The video that I gave you is how to buy. If you're curious about how to buy, I don't have a link set up or anything like that, but you'll figure it out. So buy yourself some CC coin today. Don't forget that Mantra. Now, we're a big fan of Mantra. Also, and that's going to be the cash tag OM. We made another buy today. And the buy that we made today, we bought another. I want to say we bought about 150 more. It was a good day. The fees on KCEX were about $36, $37, something like that. So I took all of it and I bought more OM. We're just DCAing our way through. And guys, look, I'll tell you, I don't care where the price is on this at the moment. I only care that it's below my average cost. When it's below my average cost, which is down to about 57.5 cents for average cost, I'm trying to DCA that down as much as possible. I'm not using outside money, though. I'm just using what I get from KCEX. And as that builds, hopefully it'll build enough that when this is all said and done, we will see a return of Mantra to that $9 or $10 range. And if that is, that's an easy few bucks. You know what I mean? So we're just plotting that for the future. Now, I would like to see that DCA go down just a little bit more, but we're into it right now for about 800. If I put 850 bucks in right now and did a DCA, probably get this down to around 38.40, that's 95. So 47, I could get it down to about a 47 cents average DCA, but I'm not looking for it. I'm not really worried about that. The reason that I'm not worried about that, to the point that I'm not throwing more money at it, is because there's going to be time. I don't think that I'm not pressed, or I don't feel pressed for OM to have an explosive move. So if it does have a natural move that goes along with it, then I'll be cool with that. And I'll just say, hey, we've got 2,200 tokens. We'll see what happens with that. But yesterday, Mantra, FIFA's 2024 global transfer report details the football transfer market represents $66 billion in locked value, with $8.5 billion spent on transfers in 2024. This, by the way, is going to be supported by the Mantra chain, which is huge. That's some serious alpha here. 3.3 billion of untapped value in player transfers now being unlocked on chain through a regulated path. When is showing the world how sports plus real world assets, a new asset class, and with the Mantra change as the infrastructure partner, this space is heating up fast. And what this does is this creates a revenue stream, a serious revenue stream for the Mantra chain. And guys, I just think that that's going to be incredible. I think that this is, if you're not invested in Mantra at this point, you're probably going to miss out on a significant run. This is number one sport in the world. They're the infrastructure which is going to bind some of this together. And I told you before, there's going to be a lot to it coming forward. And Mantra just continues to build. And they didn't and by the way, remember this, FIFA would not have put a chain that didn't work, or that was broken, or that there was a problem. All the problems that came were just a single investor, and then the cascade effect of that single whale investor selling off. So, I mean, and by the way, this does not make me a Mantra maxi. I don't give a shit what pumps, as long as it pumps. This is me taking advantage of an opportunity to make a few bucks off of something that I think is currently extremely and grossly undervalued. So, because of the Genius Act, and for those of you that don't know, the Genius Act, Ellie Tourette, friend of the channel, just in motion to invoke cloture on the motion to proceed to the consideration of the Genius Act has passed. 15 plus Democrats, or a total of 50 Democrats. Ellie, to her credit, is formerly with Fox News. So instead of saying 50, she has to go 15 plus. You know what I mean? So what this means, by the way, is this is not a vote on the Genius Act. That's the stablecoin legislation. This is not a vote on it. This is a vote to agree to put it to the floor for discussion, so that they can then talk about what the next steps are, which means that Democrats get to add in their little requirements for their votes, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I don't know that it is necessary at this point. I don't know that you need Democratic votes in order to make this pass. Now, there are plenty of Democrats who are voting yes on it at this point. So getting this passed does look academic at this point. So I think that we're going to see something. Again, this market is just setting itself up for the digital stable coins are going to be the big future. And why are stable coins going to be the big future? And guys, the answer to that is right here. It is estimated right now that the biggest buyer of treasuries is going to be stable coins, because basically what you're looking at is, just imagine this is a place, if you will. This is a place, if you will, where you can have guaranteed returns. Like, for example, you're going to give me, or I'm going to have, let's call it $10 billion. $10 billion worth of stable coins are going to be minted. I'm going to hold that in a 1-to-1 ratio, which means that the money's going to exist. Where am I going to put that? Well, if I can get 4.5% per year, I'm going to put it into treasury bonds because that is guaranteed money every single month. And I can also, there's a lot of creative ways. I assure you that stablecoins are going to continue to generate money, but it is estimated that that stablecoins will be the #1 holder of U.S. Treasury bonds by the year 2030. So, and by the way, it's still pumping. It's still pumping. So, treasuries are. Look, remember a couple months ago. I got to go back here. Remember a couple months ago, you guys told me, not all of you, but some of you, you told me that Donald Trump's playing 4D chess. And that because of the 4D chess that he's playing, those bond yields were tanking. This was 2 months ago. Bond yields were tanking. They were going under 4%. Then they're going to go under 3%. Then they were going to go under 2%. There would be no reason. Nobody's going to want to have treasuries. They're just going to want to have risk assets and stuff like that. Y'all remember that? Remember that? Because when I said that's not how it's going to work and that they're going to go up, you told me, no, that's not true. You're crazy because you don't like Donnie Dingbat. And look, fair enough. Fair enough. But if we pull it up, which one of us was right? Okay. Which one of us was right so far? I'll let you decide. The 10-year yield, 4.49%. I wish I had a track here so I could take a victory lap. You know what I mean? Like, guys, and by the way, it doesn't really matter what you think of Donald Trump. It matters how the markets are going to react to whatever's happening. It's only in Pretendistan, which is the place inside some of your brains, that the Democrats are selling because they don't want Trump to win. That's only in your brain, okay? It's not really how it works. It's opportunity for people. They don't care who's in charge. They care about money. They care about money. And to sell off on the market right now with tariffs creating nervousness, to sell off and to drop that means that they get a buy opportunity. They get to buy back in at a lower price. If you're the first person to dump, you also become the first person to pump if you're reading the market correctly. So that's what they're doing. And that's fine. That's exactly how trading works. And also for this right here, it eventually is going to come down. It's not going to come down until, and by the way, remember, stable coins, stuff like that, there's going to continue to be demand for treasuries. So, and you're going to have to do something pretty soon, by the way, because the big, beautiful bill, the big, beautiful bill that's going to save us all the money, Elon, yo, what's up, dog? That's going to add $5 trillion to the budget deficit this year. So we're not solving anything, and people are starting to see that. How do we know that that's happening? It's right here. Easy money from the U.S. government. So, yeah, what you think is going to happen, that ain't happening. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But because of that legislation, because of the Genius Act, because of what's going on, Aave is up 17% today. There's your lending protocol, by the way. Put your stable coins into Aave and start lending them out today, or start borrowing against them today and see what happens. I mean, it's on you, boo-boo. You do what you got to do. But because of that, Curve is up 8.5% today. Aave is up 16.8% today. The rest of the market, a little bit of a mixed bag. You can see a capital rotation. Dog with Hats down 2%. Pepe's down 1.4%. So you can see it's coming out of meme coins going into the rest. And by the way, we saw a little pump happening on Ethereum over the last little while as well. KTA, Frax, Launchcoin, Syrup. We've got a few people having little moves, nothing breaking out. Mask even at 20%, still not really a breakout. Aave again having that big move. When you look around, you're not seeing those. You're not seeing a runner again. But when you get down here into the deeper end of the pool, you've got collateral at 54, and you've got cock, and everybody loves a big cock inu. Did I say inu? I said inu. So if you like big cock with a Q, then yeah, you're up 23% on the day. Now the rest of the market, we're still at 71, meaning it's time to sell. By the way, like, you know, if you're following Fear and Greed Index, then you know you're at the spot right now where you should be selling out, waiting for a dip, getting back into the 30s, but to make something else happen. So good luck with that. I don't know whether I'm not going to do it yet. Again, I told you I was going to sell in May and walk away. This is about the spot right here where I thought I would be selling out on the market, but I still consider that a big pump is continuing to come. And by the way, I'm going to show you that on the charts in just a few moments. JP Morgan, by the way, Jamie Dimon yesterday announced that. And by the way, remember Jamie Dimon announced yesterday that he will now let clients buy Bitcoin, but they will not custody Bitcoin. So what that basically means is that they don't have their own Bitcoin. They're just going to recommend, and they'll have a holding company. I'm sure it'll be Coinbase or something like that. But JP Morgan has now entered the Bitcoin game. Remember, Jamie Dimon is the person who famously said Bitcoin doesn't do anything. Bitcoin is a scam. He's done everything he can to try to prevent you from buying Bitcoin. And you might say to yourself, well, that means he's anti-Bitcoin. No, my friends. What he wanted to do was he wanted to keep his people from buying Bitcoin because he doesn't want them to make money. He wants to make the money for them. Don't forget that while Jamie Dimon is telling you that this is a poison, that it's a cancer, that this is not how business is done, while he's giving you everything that he can about how Bitcoin is bad, et cetera, don't forget that they created their own blockchain using Ethereum while this is happening. Don't forget that they have been investing in cryptocurrency assets for a while now. Don't forget that everything that he says is nothing that he does. This guy was lying to you and deceiving you the entire time. And why is that? Well, JP Morgan Chase is the #1 bank in the world. It's the biggest bank. So, and look, it was only a matter of time before banks got into, I told you before that it is only a matter of time before your banking app will allow you to buy Bitcoin. I told you that you're not going to need exchanges in the future, that it's going to be about your bank, and that the exchanges that you currently use, like Coinbase or somebody like that, they in fact are going to end up being banks by the end of this. They'll be registered as banks, and that's the way that they're going to be doing business going forward. And there'll be some murkiness. They'll work through the process, but the banks are primed to take over, and that's where we're really going to see that asset allocation start, where people are going to take a little piece of their paycheck and they're going to just allocate it over there into a Bitcoin strategy at JP Morgan or at any other bank, Bank of America. You know, it's going to be on your app, Capital One. You get paid every week, and you get paid $2,000 a week, right? And you decided, I'm going to put 10% of my income into Bitcoin every single week. So now you're buying $200 worth of Bitcoin all the time. And when your early buys like 10, 20, 30x, because Bitcoin's heading to $1 million, you're going to be super excited. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to feel like, I did better than my 401k. That's what they're looking to do. So JP Morgan has entered the fray. Also, Bitcoin ETF flows continue to impress. I just hit the wrong button. Capital inflows yesterday, 6,200, 6,000 Bitcoin, $667 million in inflows. This is over $1 billion over the last 4 days, and we're just starting off a week. This is a massive week. Bitcoin is starting to run, and we're looking at that golden cross getting ready to happen. Let's pop SMA. So you can see here, this is the weekly, but the daily, we're about to get a golden cross. Now, let me zoom in here. You'll see in the next 2 days or so, maybe 3 days, we're going to get a golden cross. And by the way, remember, this is a lagging indicator. So this is just confirmation of an upward trend. This is not a massive buy or something like that. But the last time we crossed over and we did that was bump right there. And when we did this right here, this was after this move right here. Remember, we're at 53,000. We get the crossover right here at 67,000. And what happens? Bitcoin, before you know it, is at 108,000. Okay. So what's happening right now? We're getting that crossover again. All right. So the motivator is right here. Now let's look at it on the weekly. When you look at it on the weekly, we move over to the MACD, and the MACD is in the green. It's telling you right now is your moment. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow because you eat your mother's spaghetti or whatever the fuck that rapper guy says. There's a huge amount of upside that we're staring right now in the face. And I do think, by the way, I've got my sell order set at 109,000, and then I'm going to reevaluate what's happening in the market. But I put up here, I think the next surge is 124,096. I think that is my number. And I gave you that number a long time ago. And I've always kind of had it in my mind that that's going to be the spot. So somewhere in that 124,100 or so range is where that next surge comes into play. And by the way, that is not a huge surge. If we look at, remember the last golden cross that we got, if we go from the golden cross to the top, if we go look at it from this context, there's the cross right there. And then the full move right there, 152%. Now, the impulse move from the all-time high, which came immediately after that, from the all-time high up to that top, was 45%. I don't know we're going to do 45% again, because you got to look at it from, well, this is the top right here. What's 45% of 109,000? Well, that's going to put you in the 140, 150. It's going to put you about the 150 range, 144 maybe. Let's do 45% right there. 155, basically 155, 156,000. I don't know that we have that in us, but it sure looks like anything could happen at this point. So, guys, if you haven't already, you need to hold on to some Bitcoin. And by the way, I had a conversation yesterday, and the conversation was very, very specific, and it was very, very enlightening. Okay. Everything that you do, everything that we do, if you decide that crypto is the investment protocol for you, if that's the investment vehicle for you, and that's how you're going to get rich, you would be best served by taking your wins, whatever wins you get, and you would first want to stable them. But then the next move, your next move at that point should be to find an entry position into Bitcoin. It would be my estimation that, if you put 20,000 into a project and you 3x'd it and you got 40,000 out, that 20,000 of that 40,000 should go into Bitcoin. It should go into Bitcoin. And then after it goes into the Bitcoin, do what you want with the other 20,000. If you need to pay bills, if you need to, live your life, whatever, do whatever. But every time you make big money, anytime you get nice wins, stuff like that, you should be converting it over into a wallet, a secret wallet with cold storage that you can hold on to Bitcoin and continue to accumulate Bitcoin. Remember, at some point, there's going to be 21 million Bitcoin only in the world. That's it. Satoshi, as Jamie Dimon once called him, is not coming back. He's not changing the rules or anything like that. So, the question would be, what does that ultimately mean? It means there should be 21 Bitcoin, but there's 58 million millionaires in the world, which means that there's not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire. So if you have one Bitcoin, you are already ahead of the curve because you are taking that Bitcoin out of circulation. Remember, Strategy has 576,000 Bitcoin at this point. So I think it's safe to say right now that if you're not listening to me and you're not accumulating Bitcoin, you are going to end up wrecked some way. Okay. You're going to end up wrecked somewhere. Yes, I believe in XRP. So let's keep going here because DigiAsia stocks jumped 90% after it announced that it was doing a Bitcoin buy. So they're putting $100 million into Bitcoin right now, and their stock on DigiAsia just went up 90%. That's how important Bitcoin is to the markets. And by the way, this is not your normal investors doing it. These, I'm sure, Bitcoin maxis and people like that, they're the ones that are doing it. They're the ones that pump things like this. So, I'm not saying that this changes anything about their investment. It'll probably come back down. But I mean, that's That's the power of Bitcoin right now. Also, Robinhood just filed with the SEC a plan to legalize tokenized assets across the United States. Here is the game changer, folks. This is the one that you've been waiting for. Robinhood has filed a 42-page proposal with the SEC seeking a federal framework to enable the legal issuance and trading of tokenized RWAs across the United States. They're not the only one, by the way. Don't forget that DevE is doing the same thing. So there are a lot of moving parts here that are working their way through this process. And look, we're getting to the point right now where crypto, digital assets, digital currency, it's inevitable. It is inevitable at this point. There's no going back. We have crossed the Rubicon, if you will. So let's talk about the rest of the market. 24-hour DEX volume, 5.4 billion for BSC. That obviously means that we're deep into Memecoin territory. Solana at 2.9 billion, which obviously means we're deep into Memecoin territory. Ethereum is at 2.46 billion. Not really the same kind of sign, but still a sign. And then Base at 1.28 billion. Arbitrum over $1 billion. These are the big meme coin spaces. So guess what? Now, a lot of meme coins being traded over the last little while, which does mean that, you know, people are making money. Now that they're making money, let's go look at the liquidation. In 24-hour, expect to come down probably to 103,820 as we capture liquidity through this range right here, maybe even down through 103,000. You might see a dip all the way to 102 in the next couple of hours just to kind of clear out. But it looks like it, and it does not look like that's going to happen. What it looks like is that this market's getting real kind of sendy. We're sort of ranging sideways for the last couple of hours. We had a dip when you zoom in and you get granular on it. We had a dip coming back down into our range right here. We got a bounce. It looks like we're starting to get a bounce off of it. So from down here at 3.23, we're back up to 3.26 trillion in market cap. So, you know, a $50 billion dip is now being bought up. We're down $20 billion on the day. So we could be looking at another big surge. Now, the surge is coming, by the way, or going into Bitcoin because the money is still coming out. Despite all this, the money is mostly coming out of alts in some sort of way. So I would be looking for, I think there's going to be a big move coming up very soon. I mean, everything here to me looks like it looks like we are super bullish right now. We're not getting bearish divergences. We're getting bullish divergences. We've got flips over here on our MACD showing us that the market is starting to heat up even on the hourly. We've got a reversal down there. Look at what's happening right now. We just got the start of that. We've gone from red. We've gone from the outflow the last couple of hours to a pink one, which means that capital inflow. That means the bulls are starting to win, which means more upside momentum. More upside momentum hopefully means another run like we just got right over here, right? And if we get another run like we got over here, we take it from the bottom to the top over here. Then, you know, boom, we're at 3.39 trillion, which, you know, I don't think that's a top. That's 1 hour. It's a little bit higher than we were before. And by the way, not going to lie, it's crazy that it matches up some way right there. It definitely matches up with this little top right. Whoops. Right there. So I think we're on our way up over the next couple of hours. The market looks like it really wants to go. The question is, will the institutions allow it? That's really what you're looking for. So nothing's going to change here with Bitcoin. I'm going to stick with what my goal was here. I got a buy order still set at 100,000. I'm not looking to enter at a lower position. I know how it looks. I know that this kind of looks like it's wanting to move upwards. I know that this is looking like it really wants to move upwards. So we're going to deal with that sell order at 109,000 for right now. After we get there, that's when we're going to make another decision. This is a little bit longer, by the way, than I thought because I hedged at 106,000, which we ended up hitting. By the way, for anybody who did that with me and got that win right there, that was confirmation we did it the right way to begin with. I got a feeling that there's some tremendous upside here, so I'm going to stick the course on this one. 233 on, we're going to have to hurry up here. We're at 233 on XRP. I think XRP is ready for another insignificant move. I told you guys this was your accumulation zone. Guess what? After your accumulation, you got a strong bounce off of it. Didn't stick, didn't stay, bounced off of the 50 MA, came back down, and now it's kind of in this sort of range right here. Now, part of that might have to do with that news that we got yesterday that Cynthia Loomis did not meet with Brad Garlinghouse and then didn't schedule another event. We know that Cynthia Loomis is a Bitcoin maxi. So that could be the reason that people are kind of waffling on XRP at the moment. But I assure you that a surge up to 270 and beyond is coming very, very soon. Same thing for Ethereum. We're just getting some consolidation. We've got investors who are taking profits along the way. This was a big impulse move. When you consider the length of the move here from 1800, that's really cooking very, very hot. That's about 40% over the course of just a short period of time. Usually takes a little bit of profit taking before we get back into that range. And when we zoom out and start to look at it on a larger time frame, it makes sense that, of course, this is the range that we're fighting through. With an upward trajectory, we need to get around 2,800 and above to smash through that sort of resistance in that region. And then we need to get that big surge up into that 3,000 range. So fingers crossed that that's going to happen. As far as positions go, I'm going to stick again with my position on this. I don't think that we're in a bad spot. I don't even think that we're in bad shape. I think this market really wants to start moving. Now, that feeling that the market really wants to start moving is, of course, a reason for a lot of sell-off. Okay, when you start to get that feeling, institutions, they certainly like to trick you and steal from you because that's who they are. It's what they do. Same thing over here with Solana. Solana has formed a resistance right there on the 4-hour. So we're looking for a break above that for some confirmation of bullish momentum. The way it's sitting right now, a good move along that kind of path right there looks pretty good. But we could see a breakdown to 157 and then a breakout above that. That's what we're going to be looking for. Now let's cut this a little bit short. As far as meme coins go, guess what? Lil Puff is up it's up 30% on the day to 1250. That is now a 264x that I've given you. If you're making a bunch of money off of Little Puff and you came out like a bandit because you listened to me when I gave it to you, I gave it to you at 47,000. If you bought anywhere under 500,000, okay, I was already up 10x at that point. At 500,000, that was the only spot where I took profit at 500,000. I'm still in this, holding on to it for that next leg up. Now, for that next leg up, just so you guys understand, Altcoin Daily has done a video or completed a video, and they're going to be releasing it very, very soon, talking about Little Puff. Jeff, the owner, has done the same thing that he did with Tima, and it looks like it is primed right now for another big 2 to 3x. I can't say that it's going to happen. I can just say that it sure looks like it. When I look at Little Puff and I look at chart, I mean, guys, listen, this is just continuing. This is what we were talking about with CC Coin, right? This is exactly what we're talking about. We want to see that on every single chart. So if this continues, then by June the 1st, you're looking at 2 cents. So will it happen and will it continue that way? Well, I don't know. Here's what I know. It needs to correct, and these corrections have been very, very small and minor corrections. So it is, for me, looking like this is on the path to blowing up. Now, when that the interesting part about this, that we got to be honest here, the interesting part about this is that there's no major exchanges. It's not listed on major exchanges. Altcoin Daily is going to be the first move into that. But based on the volume, which is at 824,000 in volume, they're going to get listed on CoinMarketCap, on CoinGecko. They're going to get listed everywhere so that the money is tracked. It's in your wallet, blah, blah, blah. They're, all the minor pieces are going to happen. And then you're going to see it show up on MEXC, probably Tima. You probably look at that. You probably see it shows up on OKX. It'll show up on MEXC. It'll probably show up on some big exchanges, and you're going to get some tremendous volume. So Little Puff is going to be one for your radar. Look, I think that, for my $50, by the way, just so you guys understand, I put in $50, and my $50 right now is, I don't know what the number is, but I would say 6,200, 6,100. It is 6,000 $6,350. And don't forget, I took profit at 500,000 market cap. I took $500 out at 500 at that spot. So that remaining $500 is now up significantly. So if you're with me on this, then shout out to you. We got a big win. Hopefully we're going to get another big win. Here's the thing. If this breaks out and it does what Tima did, again, Tima went to 66 million market cap. This is at 12.5 million market cap right now. If it goes up, that's going to be another 5x or 6x or something like that. Instead of, that'll be for $50. I will have pulled 30 grand off of it, 30,500, something like that. It's be a significant number. So certainly hoping for that win. Now, in the event that it goes crazy and it takes off, guess what? You're going to know somebody who took $50 and turned it into, I mean, if it 10x's and it goes to, what would 10x from here be? If it goes, or not, but 50x, it goes to 500 million market cap. You know, if it goes up into the major range up there and becomes one of those top meme coins, it just gets that exit sort of momentum or something like that. It could be upwards of a few $100,000. So, you know, you never really know what's going to happen with these. If it goes to 100,000 market cap, that's 8x from where we are right now. It'd be about 50 grand. You know what I mean? So, and then from there, from 50 grand at that point, then you have to ask yourself, what if it goes to $1 billion market cap? And that would be what, 500,000 off of $50, guys. Just don't forget that, off of $50. So let's see what happens here. I won't be there that long, by the way. I won't be there that long. I will take profit at least along the way. I think my next number is about 5 cents at 50 million market cap. If it goes to 50 million market cap, I'm feeling like I'm going to take half out at that point, and then I'll let the other half ride. So we'll see what happens. Blockchain Beauty's up 10% on the day, having a nice little surge. Blocky having a little bit of a surge up until the last couple of hours. You saw some sell-off happening. U.S. market woke up and said, "Oh my God, there's profit. I probably need to know. I probably need to know," or whatever they say. I just assume they're retarded. Okay, so Blocky's about to surge though. That's the one thing to remember. Okay, and guys, I cannot stress this enough. The big investors in Puff, the guys who have all the money, like myself, by the way, I'm making a pretty good amount off of this. You know, Blocky is next. So a lot of the money that you're seeing being made on Puff is going to flow into Blocky as the next one. So, you know, I would be watching for Blocky to have a pretty good surge. A 10x from here for me would be a pretty good one. Like I'm not in as deep on Blocky as I am on Puff. However, if Blocky had the same, if at this point, if Blocky had the same market cap as little Puff, I would be in for like 3 times as much, if that makes sense. Like I didn't put, I only put $50 in Puff. That was just a lucky stab. You know what I mean? But Blocky, I got in a little bit under $1 million. I missed the beginning where it was like 100,000. So if you did, you're up 10, 12x right now, but I missed the beginning of it. And I bought like 20 different, like I bought over and over and over again. I was in over here on like the first day. I was in on the first day somewhere along this. So I'm not up that much, but I also DCA'd. And here's the good part. I started buying when it went down under 0.001. So I ended up buying double my bag down there. So that part of that bag is already way up. So if this thing breaks out and it goes to 10 cents, which I would suspect, or goes to a penny, which would be 10 million market cap, I think. Yeah. So if it goes to a penny at that point, then I'll have 17 grand off of it. If Blocky, yeah. So whatever, we're going to be doing pretty good. Also, CCR rewards up a little bit on the day. CC coin up on the day. TARS AI up a little bit on the day. But as you can see, I removed some of the other projects off here. Winecoin down quite a bit. Look, if you got in with me a couple days ago, we made our money. You know, I took my original investment out. I'm good. So if anything happens with Winecoin, we're going to be there. I got another video that I'm going to do, another short on it. But this next surge, I think, for Winecoin, probably going to be a big one. If you look at it, that's actually a very healthy correction. You saw some of that sell off at the top. I was concerned, by the way, that, you know, that this is exactly what would happen. But guess what? It's happening exactly where you might predict, right there. And that's where we're kind of consolidating. So looks like there's another move coming on Winecoin, and it's going to be towards that upside. You know, again, a 5 million, 10 million market cap for me. It's going to be a fantastic job. And that's it. I'm going to go work out. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Oh, by the way, not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume when we're looking at my whatchamacallit for today. But if you are a trader and you are a successful trader, I want you to sign up with me, because guess what? We're doing right now the biggest giveaway ever. And we're giving away up to $1 million. All you have to do, sign up for weeks. And I'm going to throw the link down here. Sign up for weeks. Up to $300,000 on a daily lucky spin, 30K trading milestones, daily volume leaderboard, a profit leaderboard. Now you need to sign up between May 19 and May 21st. So signups, and they are limited signups, but the competition is going to begin on May 21st. It's going to run until June 16. Let's make a bunch of money. Like, this is where you make your success, or you take your shot. Like, if something good happens right here, then you could be rewriting your own history, and you could be proving that you are a great, in fact, trader. So make sure that you sign up today. And that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you again